All right, thanks, guys. We went 3-2 yesterday in our premium picks on patreon.com/Brock Page. Good for 60% on the day. That's going to put us at 7-2 in our last 9 extra daily picks on that website. We're also 4-2 in our last 6 college basketball tier plays. If you want some more information about that website, link for it is in the description section below. And once again, that is patreon.com/Brock Page. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into some NBA picks here today for this Wednesday. Happy hump day to you. The weekend is almost here. We're halfway there. All right, let's go ahead and begin with the Bulls taking on the Pacers, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off at Indiana. The Pacers are minus 8.5, total 213 and a hook. We did see a half a point move toward Indiana and movement upward on the total. The Pacers open as the 8-point favorite, up to minus 8.5. Total open 213, up to 213 and a hook. And right now the Bulls are plus 370 on the money line, catching pretty good plus money there. And if you like the Bulls in this matchup here, you may just want to beware of that exceptional value on the money line because this team really struggles away from home. Just 8-15 straight up when traveling. They also rank in the bottom 10 in scoring, bottom 10 in offensive rebounding. Now, Chicago's just 19-30 straight up overall for the year, 11 games under 500. They're also just 3-5 against the spread in their games that tipped off at the current number. A couple more things to add about the Bulls here. They rank in the bottom 10 in defensive field goal percentage, bottom 10 in defensive rebounding. The Chicago team is averaging just 105 points per contest. Now the Pacers on the other side, winners of 7 out of their last 9. They beat Denver and Philadelphia during that stretch of victories. They also went 6-3 against the spread in those 9 as well. Indiana ranks in the top 3 in offensive field goal percentage, top 3 in shooting the 3-ball. And guys, I'm catching word here this morning that Victor Oladipo, he's been upgraded to probable. So we should see him maybe in a limited role here tonight. But keep an eye on Oladipo's status, as I've seen a couple sources saying that he's been upgraded to probable. So that will certainly be good to see. Oladipo get some action here this year. Miles Turner and Malcolm Brogdon, they've also been upgraded to questionable. They are day-to-day, so there's a chance we should see Turner and Brogdon in tonight's matchup as well. But regardless, TJ Warren, he's averaging 18 points a game, 4 rebounds. Domantas Sabonis, 18 points a game, 13 boards, 5 assists. And Jeremy Lamb, 13 points a game, 5 rebounds for the Pacers. Indiana ranks in the top 10 in points allowed, top 10 in defensive field goal percentage. They're allowing just 105 points per contest on their home court. Now, 4 out of the Pacers' last 6 games did get over the number. They're also 60% to the over in their last 10. Meanwhile, Chicago on the other side, 2-0 to the over in their last couple of games themselves. They also went 4-2 to the over in their last 6 as well. I'm going to lean toward the home chalk in this one. Very chalky play here. Give me Indiana minus 8.5 and the over 213 and a hook in that game. Next matchup, Grizzlies taking on the Knicks, 7:30 Madison Square Garden. The Knicks, not favored at home. They are the 2.5-point dog. That's right, Memphis, minus 2.5 total at 224 and a hook. We did see a half a point move toward the Grizzlies and movement upward on the total as well. Memphis open as the 2-point favorite, up to minus 2.5. Total open 224, up to 224 and a hook. 77% are leaning Memphis, 57% shaded toward the under. And right now the Knicks are plus $1.20 at Madison Square Garden. Now the Knicks, losers of 7 out of their last 10. They've also won just 7 out of their 24 home games this year. The Knicks rank in the bottom 3 in scoring, bottom 5 in offensive field goal percentage. They're currently right now in the 13th seed at just 13-35 straight up overall for the year. 7.5 games back of that 8th seed. So as bad as they are, they're not technically out of it. But regardless, they rank dead last in the NBA in defending the 3-ball. They're also in the bottom 3 in home scoring. They're averaging just 104 points per contest. Meanwhile, the Grizzlies on the other side, red hot right now. Winners of 8 out of their last 10. They beat the Nuggets and the Rockets during that stretch. They also covered 70% of their games in their last 10 as well. They rank in the top 10 in scoring, top 5 in offensive field goal percentage. Jaren Jackson, 18 points a game, 5 rebounds. Of course, can't forget about John Moran, 18 points a game as well, 7 assists. And Jonas Valanciunas, 15 points a game. He's also averaging double-digit rebounds. Now, 7 out of Memphis' last 8 did stay under the number. Meanwhile, New York, 16-8 to the under at MSG. I'm going to lean toward the road favorite. Give me Memphis minus 2.5 and the under 224 and a hook in that game. Next contest, Pistons taking on the Nets, 7:30 Brooklyn. The Nets are the 8.5-point favorite, total at 218 and a hook. We saw a half a point move toward Brooklyn and movement upward on the total. The Nets open -8 up to -8.5. Total open 218 up to 218 and a hook. Right now the Pistons are plus 335 on the money line. Now the Pistons, believe it or not, as bad as they've been, they rank in the top 10 in offensive field goal percentage. They're also in the top 10 in shooting the 3-ball. Rose and Snell, they've been upgraded to probable for tonight's action, so we should see those guys in the game. And Drummond is listed as questionable, so there is a chance we could see Drummond get into the action as well. Rose is averaging 19 points a game, 6 assists. Andre Drummond, 17 points a game, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Markieff Morris, 11 points a game, 4 rebounds for the Pistons. Now, on the Nets side of things, DeAndre Jordan and Kyrie Irving, they are both listed as questionable. Brooklyn's lost 6 out of their last 7 games. They also went just 1-6 against the spread in those 7. They failed to cover against the likes of the Knicks during that stretch. They rank in the bottom 10 in offensive field goal percentage, bottom 5 in three-point percentage. They're currently 4th place in the Atlantic Division at just 19-26 overall for the year. And they are 13 games back of Toronto for the division lead. Now, Brooklyn ranks in the bottom 5 in defensive rebounding, bottom 10 in home scoring. 8.5, that is a very, very big number for this Brooklyn team. Not so sure they can cover that. Now, total-wise, 7 out of Brooklyn's last 9 games did get over the number. Detroit, 80% of the over in their last 10. I'm going to lean toward the road dog in this one. Give me the Pistons, plus 8.5. And the over 218.5 in that game. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines of personal leans out for Wednesday's NBA action. Happy Wednesday to you. Happy hump day to you. The weekend is almost, here. We're halfway there. Now, before we go ahead and get into some more free lines of personal leans right here on YouTube, I just want to quickly remind you once again to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage, where once again we went 3-2 in our premium picks yesterday on that website. It's going to put us at 7-2 in our last 9 extra daily picks on that site. Now, the extra daily pick is a membership tier that I offer, which is just $2.99 through the end of the month. We're also 4-2 in our last 6 college basketball tier package plays on that site as well. Now, you might be wondering, well, why would I buy a package from you when you give me all the picks for free here on YouTube? And you're exactly right. I do give you the picks here for free on YouTube. The problem with that is, if you were to bet your hard-earned money on every single game on the board, side and total, you're guaranteed to lose yourself all of your money. You can't beat the books. They're way too smart when you're betting every single game on the board, side and total. So what I do for you is I make life a lot easier for you. I break it down into 3 to 4 premium picks per day. They're games that I personally have action on, high percentage picks. And I'll tell you this much, my current Patreon record is a whole lot better than it is throwing darts here on YouTube, handicapping every single game on the board. You can check out my current record for free right now. All you have to do is click the link in the description section below. Once again, that is patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, let's go ahead and get into a couple more free lines of personal leans here on YouTube. And once again, all starts Eastern Standard Time. On deck, we've got the Jazz taking on the Spurs, 8:30 Eastern tip-off in San Antonio. The Jazz are -5, total at 220.5. We saw a 1-point move toward Utah and movement upward on the total. The Jazz open as the 4-point favorite, up to -5. Total open 220, up to 220 and a hook. Right now, San Antonio's plus $1.65 on the money line. Spurs, losers of their last 3 straight. They've also dropped 5 out of their last 8 games as well. They lost to the likes of Chicago, Phoenix, and Atlanta during that stretch. San Antonio really, really struggling to cover the point spread on their home court. They covered just 7 out of their 24 home games this year. They're also allowing 114 points per contest. Now, the Spurs rank in the bottom 10 in points allowed, bottom 10 in defending the three ball. They're currently in 4th place in the Southwest Division, 9 games back of Houston for the division lead. They're in the bottom 10 in points allowed at home, bottom 10 in home defensive rebounding. Now, Utah on the other side, winners of 8 out of their last 10. They also covered 80% of their games in their last 10 as well. Successful point spread covers over the likes of Dallas and Indiana. Utah ranks in the top 5 in offensive field goal percentage, and they also rank first in the association in offensive three-point percentage. Very deadly shooting the ball from downtown. Don Mitchell, 25 points a game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Bojan Bogdanovic, 21 points a game, 4 rebounds as well. And Rudy Gobert, he is averaging 15 rebounds a game, along with scoring 16 points per contest on average as well. Utah ranks in the top 10 in points allowed, top 5 in defensive rebounding. They're giving up just 106 points per contest. Now, total-wise, Utah is 70% to the over in their last 10. San Antonio, 14-10 to the over on their home court. I'm going to lean Utah Jazz -5 and the over 220.5 in that game.